Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs for March 8th, 2022. Before we start, let me inform you that Nuzhat ma'am is on leave till 11th and she will resume her next lecture on 12th of March. She has assigned me the task to carry on her show for the next 3 days. I am one of the backend staff members of GK Today and my name is Swadesh. Without taking much of your time, let me begin with the first question. The first question is on Indian culture. The question is, Theyyam or Kaliyattam is a ritual dance performed in which state or union territory? The correct answer of this question would be Kerala. Theyyam or Theyyattam is one of the popular ritual dance worship in Kerala. You should note three things about Theyyam dance. The first thing is, it is a worship dance of Kerala as well as Karnataka. Second thing is that it is one of the 1000-year-old traditions and there are several varieties, so more than 450 varieties of Theyyam are there. I mean, all of them are performed by males except one, that is Devkutu Theyyam. That is Devkutu is the only Theyyam ritual performed by women. So, if it is asked in your examination, Theyyattam or Theyyam is a popular ritual dance worship of which state? So that would be Kerala. But suppose it is a multi-statement or multi-options question and Karnataka is also there, then your answer would be Kerala as well as Karnataka. Obviously, Theyyam is more popular in Kerala, but Karnataka would also be a correct answer in this case. We note one thing here that Theyyam is basically native to Kerala, specifically the Malabar region, but it is also found in Mangalore district of Karnataka, and in Karnataka it has a local name called as Bhutakola. We also note here that the word Theyyam is derived from Sanskrit word Theyyam, that means god. So it is also called god's dance. The basic theme of this particular question is folk dances of Kerala. Before I take you to the next question, let me give you a glance of some previous year questions asked in various exams about the folk dances, theatres and rituals of Kerala. The first question which has been asked in some examinations is, which folk theatre or dance of Kerala came into existence under patronage of King Manavada of Calicut? The correct answer of this question would be Krishnattam. Krishnattam is a folk theatre of Kerala which came into existence into 17th century under the patronage of King Manavada of Calicut. Krishnattam is basically a cycle of 8 plays performed for 8 consecutive days presenting the story of Lord Krishna. Next question is, which ritual theatre and dance dramas of Kerala have been recognized as intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO? The correct answer of this question would be that there are two arts of Kerala, Kudiyattam or Kuttiyattam, and second is Mudiyattu. First, let me tell you something about Kudiyattam. Kudiyattam is one of the oldest traditional theatre forms of Kerala and it is based on Sanskrit theatre traditions. It was the first art from Kerala that was inscribed as masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. The second art from Kerala that was included in 2010 in the UNESCO's representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity was Mudiyattu. Mudiyattu is a traditional ritual theatre and folk dance drama from Kerala that enacts the mythological tale of a battle between goddess Kali and demon Dwarika. This particular ritual is a part of the Bhagavati or Bhadrakali cult. Now let us move to the second question. Which union ministry has constituted the Swadesh Darshan Awards? So the correct answer of this question would be Ministry of Tourism. Swadesh Darshan Awards is basically a scheme of facilitating the states for their performance in implementation of the Swadesh Darshan scheme. Now for your examination, Swadesh Darshan scheme is one of the most important schemes. This scheme is a central sector scheme that was launched in 2014-15 by Ministry of Tourism and Culture, Government of India for the integrated development of theme-based tourist circuits. The objective of this scheme is to promote, develop and harness the potential of tourism in India. Under this scheme, the Ministry of Tourism provides Central Financial Assistance or CFA to state governments, union territory administrations for the infrastructure development of circuits. Now, let us move to the third question. The question is, Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant, which was seen in the news recently, is located in which country? The correct answer of this question would be Ukraine. This particular power plant is a major electricity supplier in Ukraine and it is also the largest nuclear power plant in Europe. It is generating around 40 to 42 billion kilowatt hour, which accounts for 1/5 of the average annual electricity production in Ukraine. Recently, Ukraine claimed that Russian military has seized the plant and started shelling. Talking about Russia-Ukraine war, we note that it is an ongoing conflict that has Russia and Belarus on one side and Ukraine and supporters of Ukraine on the other side. Before moving ahead, let us have a look on some important terms in news related to the war in Ukraine. Orange Revolution. It was a series of protests and political events that took place in Ukraine from November 2004 to January 2005. It changed the government in Ukraine and after that a series of events happened that finally led to this particular war. The second term in news is the Revolution of Dignity. The Revolution of Dignity, or also known as Maidan Revolution, took place in Ukraine in February 2014. Another important term which we need to note is Operation Ganga, which is the name of the initiative launched by Government of India to bring back Indians stranded in Ukraine in the current war. Next question is, which northeastern state has recently withdrawn the consent to the CBI to investigate cases in the state? The correct answer of this question would be Meghalaya. Meghalaya has recently withdrawn the consent to the CBI to investigate cases in the state and becoming the 9th state in the country to have taken this kind of the step. CBI will not be able to investigate cases in the state without the state government's permission first. Mizoram was the first state to withdraw consent in 2015. The other states that have recently withdrawn consent include Maharashtra, Punjab, Rajasthan, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh as well as Kerala. Moving on to next question, Europa Clipper spacecraft is a flagship project of which space agency? The correct answer of this question would be NASA. NASA has started assembling the Europa Clipper spacecraft in the mission's final phase before its launch to Jupiter's moon Europa in 2024. Europa Clipper will orbit around Jupiter and will conduct multiple close flybys of Europa to gather the data on the moon's atmosphere, surface and interior structure. Before moving to the next question, let us revise some of the spacecrafts that were in news in recent times. The first is Dragon spacecraft. Dragon spacecraft was launched by SpaceX in December 2021. Dragon spacecraft or SpaceX Dragon is a partially reusable cargo spacecraft. In 2010, it became the first commercially built and operated spacecraft to be recovered successfully from the orbit. Second is Lucy spacecraft. Lucy is the name of NASA robotic spacecraft that was launched to reach Jupiter's asteroid named the Trojans. Lucy will reach to Trojans by 2027. This spacecraft has been designed to reach 7 Trojan asteroids along with another one in the main asteroid belt. Next spacecraft in news was Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter or LRO. It is also a robotic spacecraft of NASA and it is currently orbiting the moon. It was launched in 2009 along with another spacecraft called Lunar Crater Observation and Sensing Satellite or LCROSS. Similarly, one more spacecraft was making news in recent times. That was JUICE. The European Space Agency, in association with Airbus Defence and Space, was developing this Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer or JUICE spacecraft. Now let us move to the next question. The question is, NotPetya and Hermetic Viper, which were seen in the news recently, are associated with which field? So obviously these are malwares and related to cyber security. Hermetic Viper is a new data wiping malware that has attacked hundreds of computers in Ukraine in a series of cyber attacks after invasion of Russia. In June 2017, the world witnessed most destructive malware ever deployed named NotPetya with Ukraine as its primary target. At that time, it spread to more than 60 countries, destroying the computer systems of thousands of multinationals around the world. Moving on to the next question, Indian grey hornbills that were recently reintroduced in which Indian sanctuary? The correct answer of this question would be Gir National Park. The forest authorities have released 20 Indian grey hornbills into Gir National Park in Gujarat since October to reintroduce the species. It was seen at the sanctuary several decades back. The authorities are trying to reintroduce this bird into that sanctuary. Next question is, Braj Holi Mahotsav is hosted by the Tourism Department of which state? The correct answer of this question would be Rajasthan. The Tourism Department of Rajasthan is going to host the 3-day Holi festival or Braj Holi Mahotsav in the month of March. The events related to this particular festival would be held in Bharatpur, Dig and Kama cities. Moving to the next question, which organization has released the Wings Report 2022? The Wings Report has been released by Save the Children organization. Wings refers to World of India's Girls. This report is published every 4 years, and as per the recently released report, only 33% of girls in India attended the online classes during the lockdown, while 2/3 struggled to get access to health and nutrition services. Next question is, under the Jharkhand Food Security Scheme, each family member is entitled to receive 1 kilogram of pulses at what price? The correct answer is ₹1. The government of Jharkhand has declared that under the state government's food security scheme, every family member would be entitled to receive 1 kilogram of pulses at ₹1 per month. The cost of distribution will be borne by the state. Next question is, where is the headquarters of International Telecommunication Union? The correct answer of this question is Geneva. International Telecommunication Union is a specialized agency of United Nations for information and communication technologies, and its headquarters are located in Geneva. It was recently in news because India has signed the Host Country Agreement or HCA with ITU for the establishment of an Area Office Innovation Center of ITU. The location of this particular office will be in New Delhi. Next question is, where is India's largest EV charging station established recently? The correct answer of this question would be Gurugram. India's largest electric vehicle charging station was recently established in Gurgaon in Haryana. This is an ultra-modern charging station and it meets all the regulatory standards set by the government. So that was all for the day. We meet tomorrow morning with the next lecture. Till then, goodbye and take care.